Hi everyone. So today is the day we are going to finish an unfinished project of mine. It's a Simplicity Gunne Sax pattern. I actually used to own the official branded Gunne Sax dress that this pattern was based off of. I've since sold the dress, but I love the silhouette so much that I wanted to recreate it. So that is what we are going to do today.
The pattern is Simplicity Gunne Sax 8908. Picking up where I left off with this project, I had set out to make a mod flower power inspired prairie dress, and I had already cut out the bodice pieces and basted down the accent panels. So the next step is to top stitch the ribbon work along the edges. I'm using 3/8 of an inch satin ribbon. You can use a twin needle, I'm going to use a single needle. I line my needle up against the very edge as close as I can get it, and I use the weight of the presser foot to stabilize the ribbon. The goal is to center the ribbon along the basting line or seam line, whichever, and finger press it to keep it flat as you sew. When lining up the center front or the center back, I like to put the two pieces back to back to ensure that the ribbon line is level. Once the ribbon has been attached, then you can go ahead and sew the bodice pieces together. Once sewn, you can go add more ribbon on top of the new seams we've created, but be sure and press your seams first. This is what it looks on the underside and outside, or wrong side, right side. I am leaving a tail of ribbon to top stitch once the skirt is attached. And I have skipped a step. I should have installed those side ties earlier. The reason I stopped this project was because I hated the center front seam on the skirt panel, so my remedy was to make a panel to cover that and then use the ribbon to blend it into the top. The key here is to make sure that the ribbon lines up with the princess seams of the bodice and it's seamless from top to bottom. So now we need to go back and attach those tails since we have the skirt attached. I wish I had better advice on how to achieve perfect corners, but to be honest, I struggle with it and I just fiddle with it until I can tame it into submission. The Simplicity pattern will have you construct this differently. I've made this dress twice before, so I've just found this works better for me. May not be the case for you. Use your own discretion. So at the center back seam, I have basted it shut. I need to open it up so I can stick the ribbon through, and then I can proceed with finishing the zipper. Here is a little try on just to make sure everything is looking good before we go any further. For the straps, I highly encourage anyone doing this pattern to not skip adding the ribbon because I really think it makes for a big difference. And I'm also adding ribbon to the skirt band because the more ribbon, the better, I say. Now to add the lace trim, I'm using a cotton eyelet trim for both the bodice and the skirt hem. Don't forget when you're tacking the lace to ensure that it's flipped inwards and taper the lace off at the center front. This will create that really pretty scallop shape. So you can see here I'm marking at the 5/8 inch line. So then at the center front you need to taper it off. When you install the facing, you'll just keep proceeding with the 5/8 line all around. And you'll see this better when I can flip it inside out. When attaching the shoulder straps, make sure that ribbon lines up with the princess seam. Since I've already basted the lace trim, I can use that as a guideline when sewing the facing down. I have made buttonholes out of the ribbon. It's a lazy hack. I didn't want to get out the loop turner and make loops, and I actually like how it kind of blends in with the top better. You'll see here that I'm pointing to the end result of that lace being tapered off. So now we need to grade our seam allowances. I'm using pinking shears. You could also go in with an overlocker and serge your seams. Here is the aftermath of the pinking shears. And now before we go any further, I've decided to try the dress on because I had originally envisioned this to be a maxi length dress and I had cut the maxi tier out. However, for my height, I think I actually cut it too short. So I'm trying to envision it both ways, and I actually think I'm gonna end up going with the midi length with the lace, just to keep it summery, short, fresh. but let me know in the comments which one you preferred. I also went back and forth regarding the buttons. I originally thought matte white would be the way to go, but I actually think the glossy clear looks better. It looks a little more posh, less juvenile, but let me know which you prefer. Now to finish the hem and attach the lace trim. We are so close to being done. Last but not least, I need to hand sew the buttons down. I didn't tie myself, but I'm guessing I spent 10 to 12 hours on this dress. And now here is the grand reveal in 3, 2, 1.